Today we are going to talk about Azami Base. I see they make adult VRChat content that they post on Twitter and Fansly.
Welcome back everyone to VRChat Files, the series where we dig through parts of VRChat you didn't know about and that I didn't need to find. Hi, I'm Sharpie, but you already knew that. I am thoroughly surprised. Turns out Solis is not the only person on VRChat who is deranged. As of September 9th, 2023, a user by the name of Ergbla has made a video calling out Azami, a VRChat content creator. Now, before we dig too deep into his claims and dissect his argument, we need to start from the very beginning of this. Ergbla made a video on age regression, but to save you the trouble, I'll summarize to the best of my ability, because I saved you the pain of watching his video myself. In a nutshell, he goes after people who age regress, and called the majority of VRChat users pedophiles. For those unaware, age regression is an act someone does in order to cope with trauma by acting younger than their typical age. Now, age regression is a controversial study, not typically recommended by therapists as it can cause distress and false memories, but that isn't what we're focusing on here. The main focus is the fact that he's making false claims against Azami and targeting the majority of VRChat, calling everyone pedophiles. With the foundation laid out, let's dig a little deeper and break all of this down. Before we continue, disclaimer to not target Ergbla. This is once again not meant to target the individual, just to take someone who is clearly in the wrong, bring them to light. Hopefully he can learn something along the way. The footage used is also unlisted, so let's get right into it.
All started when I got a DM from Azami essentially telling me that the avatar that appears in the thumbnail is a ripped avatar and that I should tell the person that was using it that they should not use it and to also change my thumbnail.
Okay, so Azami did attempt to be civil. They politely requested that their avatar not be used in the thumbnail as it is defamatory to their reputation, especially considering someone in said video ripped their avatar. But what was his response?
My response to this was that I don't care.
He doesn't care. Of course he doesn't, because only reasonable people would care, and this man is beyond reasonable.
The reason I don't care is because I'm allowed to do that.
Oh good, he has a reason for not caring. Oh! He's bringing in VRChat TOS. Well, we can absolutely do that. Let me just scroll down this and oh, what's this? What is this I behold with my two eyes? Section 9.4, subsections A, B, and C as follows. By posting user content, you affirm, represent, and warrant that A. You are the creator and owner of that user content, or have the necessary licenses, rights, consents, and permissions to authorize VRChat and users to use and distribute that user content as necessary, to exercise the licenses granted by you in this section in the manner contemplated by VRChat, the platform, and this TOS. B. Your user content and the posting or other use of your user content as contemplated by this TOS does not and will not infringe, violate, misappropriate, or otherwise breach any third-party right, including any copyright, trademark, patent, trade secret, moral right, privacy right, right of publicity, or any other intellectual property, contract, or proprietary right, slander, defame, libel, or invade the right of privacy, publicity, or any property rights of any other person, or cause VRChat to violate any law or regulation, or require us to obtain any further licenses from pay or any royalties, fees, compensation, or other amounts, or provide any attribution to any third parties, and C. Your user content could not be deemed by a reasonable person to be objectionable, profane, indecent, pornographic, harassing, threatening, embarrassing, hateful, or otherwise inappropriate. Good sir, your video and stealing of user Azami's avatar are both misappropriating and breaching copyrights of Azami. Not to mention you are using their name and image to slander and defame them. Now, you could make the argument that yes, Azami makes rather interesting content from time to time, however they do it within the guidelines as they are not a minor, meaning that it does not interfere with any law, international or regional. If you still want to make an argument, then I would like to guide you to section 12.1, subsections B, G, and M as follows. By using the platform, you agree not to B. Violate, encourage others to violate, or provide instructions on how to violate any right of a third party, including infringing or misappropriating any third party intellectual property right. G. Perform any fraudulent activity, including impersonating any person or entity, claiming a false affiliation or identity, accessing any other platform account without permission, or falsifying your age or date of birth. M. Use of the platform in any manner to harass, abuse, stalk, threaten, defame, or otherwise infringe or violate the rights of any other party. We've already been over you using this opportunity to target Azami directly. I just thought it would be worth mentioning again since it's placed twice. However, Your friend on camera is in fact impersonating Azami by ripping their avatar and using it to defame them by doing unsavory things while being recorded. Lastly, you are still using the platform in order to harass and defame Azami. If that wasn't enough, then you also forgot the excerpt you brought out yourself, which you didn't bother reading past the first sentence about. Section 9.1, User Content Generally. Certain features on the platform may permit users to develop content on or submit, upload, publish, broadcast, or otherwise transmit content to or via the platform, directly through any automated process, or via a third party acting on your benefit, or at your direction, including software code, messages, photos, videos, images, folders, data, text, and other types of work. All such content is user content. As between you and VRChat, you retain copyright and any other proprietary rights in the user content you post, subject to the licenses granted in this TOS or in any other agreement between you and VRChat. If you bothered to read the remainder, you can see the word copyright and license, which last I checked, your username is not Azami. The next time you decide to drop any book at all on anybody, I suggest you read more.
For me to change the thumbnail of my video, I would only be doing that as a courtesy to them, which I do not owe anybody.
It is a courtesy that you do in fact owe someone whose avatar your colleague so carelessly ripped without permission, and then proceeded to use in your video targeting people who are coping with trauma. In the very least, a form of respect could have been used, yet you decided against it because you are oh so much better. Grow up.
They mentioned in there that they have DCMA'd people for using their avatar in the past, so it was sort of like a passive-aggressive threat that they would be submitting a DCMA strike against me or a copyright strike if I were to not change the thumbnail. Azami got upset that their intimidation tactics didn't work on me and went ahead and took a screenshot of that conversation and posted it to their Twitter to weaponize their followers, and sure enough, the video itself has a bunch of comments talking about the avatar and people saying hateful things to me.
It is not a threat. It is a warning, as it has happened to them before, and they are prepared to take legal action against you. It is understandable. If I slapped on your username and went around acting like a clown, you'd be upset too. But I don't need to do that, because that would be too accurate to you. Oh, and Azami didn't use their followers to attack you. You're not that special. Those individuals are friends of theirs. Yeah, I know. Something you probably will never have. Oh no, you got hateful YouTube comments? For one, those are criticism against you, and if you can't take it, don't make videos. Second, it's YouTube. People tell others threats in comment sections all the time. Hell, you've been calling out most VRChat people pedophiles, while you yourself play VRChat.
So that covers everything on my end, but now we're going to go ahead and take a look at Azami's profile, because since you wanted to weaponize your followers against me, we're going to go ahead and just take a little look at your socials and just kind of review what you're about and talk about some things.
Oh, so we're stalking socials now. Okay, then why don't we look at yours as well? Well, first thing to find on searching you is a rather true and funny photo responding to your post, but let's look deeper. Slinging insults, political stands, horrible comedy. Yep, yours is so much better, dude. So yeah, this guy is clearly delusional and seeking attention. Congrats, bud. You got my attention. But not your parents, even though you're stuck in their basement without a job and yelling at people on a VR game because they're doing better than you are.
In the past, we have talked about the inappropriate looking avatars in this 13+ game, but what about the inappropriate avatars that look like they might not even be 13? Well, it turns out that is Azami's specialty. Their entire Twitter feed is just pictures of this particular avatar, and I'm going to try and say this in a way that's advertiser friendly, so you'll have to kind of read between the lines here. We know that these images are like a step away from being illegal. Like, if this was a real person that fit this character's proportions, it would probably not be somebody of age.
This man has never seen a woman in his entire life. Talk about incels in your sad Twitter profile, yet you are clearly one yourself. Out of age? Did you know that grown women can actually have a flat chest? Do you not know that all of Azami's avatars are actually not flat-chested? What underage girls are you stalking at the local school that have you watering out the mouth with huge boobs? Your logic has exactly zero foundation, your evidence is based on falsehood, and because of that, your arguments just fall apart.
are. It is not okay. You are a deviant. And having the pleasure to interact with this community just really showed me how far they are gone. I want you to take a moment and just kind of think about things from this perspective. We have this argument about a thumbnail in my video, which I'm allowed to do, and these people are so far gone that instead of realizing that the thing they are defending is borderline illegal, they proudly boast their support for it. Azami proudly boasts ownership of this material.
But, brother, how far gone are you? You're more stuck up on this than Azami is. They are living in your head rent-free. Why else would you make 2 videos on them, one of them being unlisted? It's cowardice. You've never even talked to Azami in a respectable way, so you would never even know how they really are. You don't know them. You've never actually talked to them. So how can you break down someone's character after you literally attacked them in the first place?
Do you realize how out there that is? It amazes me that someone could have so little shame that they don't even recognize how abnormal it is to display your weird deviant interests publicly.
It's not that uncommon to be upset when someone defames you. It is not that out there, as you put it. Yes, they should be proud of their avatar they put together. Yes, they have every right to be upset. But you do not have any right at all to target them like this, nor the majority of VRChat. One, they don't throw it out there publicly. In fact, they get funding for their efforts behind a paywall because they have that amount of support. Secondly, if you want to complain about one, why not complain about the others that do far worse than simply post spicy things once in a while? What about the people who are like your friend and rip avatars? What about people who crash lobbies? What about people like you who harass people just because they exist? What if I came at your neck because of your profile picture, or your voice, or the fact that I can smell your breath through your mic? You wouldn't be super duper handy dandy happy about it, would you? You absolute troglodyte, you buffoon.
There's a reason that you're a social reject, and there's a reason that you don't share these thoughts as openly with the people in your real life.
Rich coming from you, I'm sure. But newsflash, the majority of us tell people in the real world. Mind you blown, I know. Most of us have jobs. Ooh, jobs. Ooh! Sorry, too much and I'll scare you with employment.
And not being able to understand that I can do whatever I want and I don't owe them anything.
Just like I'm allowed to make fun of you for being the clown that you are. Just because you barely interact with anybody outside your dimly lit, moist cave you crouch in the corner hunting fish, doesn't mean that you're the most innocent person on the planet. You got VRChat for a reason. You actually have the easy solution to all of this. Log off. Don't come back. It's literally that simple. You are not welcome here, nor there. Now vanish, like your neck hair. Dr. Seuss taught me that one.
They're allowed to be upset with me for not caring about their feelings, much like I'm allowed to say that what they're doing is fucking disgusting. These people are really stupid, and I think a lot of people that play VRChat are pretty aware of these behaviors. It amazes me how people can be so blatantly repulsive, and it seems like these people are an overwhelming majority of the VRChat community.
Here we go again with the majority. I don't think you realize that you're not special, buddy. You might have just been part of that majority. At one point or another, you've probably partaken in a little VR movie night, a little virtual ham steaming and sausage smacking with the boys. It would not surprise me at all if this guy is actually part of the pedophile problem in VRChat. No, it does not apply to the majority. It's starting to feel like it just applies to you, bud. Honestly, I'm losing energy saying all of this.
VRChat are social rejects and they need genuine help. Instead of getting that, they find like-minded individuals that have the very same self-destructive behaviors that they have. And that applies to everything far beyond just this topic. To Azami and people like Azami, along with all the people who follow that type of content, please go outside. And that's coming from me.
Shocking. I work outside. Oops. Sorry. Workforce jump scare. Not like I have a job or anything. Oops. Did it again. But maybe you should take your own advice. Take your hands off your messy keyboard, open your door with your skeleton-like fingers, and try to see sunlight if it doesn't reduce you to ashes. That's just about all I have for this. There could be more that I missed because this is a lot for such a short video, and he talks way too much trash. As for Urgabla, because he clearly is a stalker and will see this, do yourself a favor. Log off VRChat, go outside, get a job, enjoy life instead of trying to ruin others. And maybe, just maybe, you'll make your parents proud. Good luck.